All right, everybody, welcome to the episode 2 of the Casual Nerd Podcast. This week we got for you a few things. There's a new Harry Potter movie announced. I know everybody's pumped for that. A little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5 news leaked this week. Apple came out with new iPhones, and Sony had a press conference. So we're going to go ahead and right into it. And we're going to go ahead and ask everybody what they've been doing this week. So, Lee, what have you been up to?
Not much, just playing some League, and got Far Cry 3 on sale, so I got a chance to play that.
Very nice. Well, how do you like Far Cry 3? Because that was one of my favorite games of the year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely realistic in the thing of healing yourself, and but it has a lot of I guess the driving aspect, a lot of utility, I guess, as a FPS. So it's pretty good.
Right. It doesn't feel linear either. It's like an open world, so you're not feeling like you're on a path and you have to take it continuously.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty good.
Very nice, man. What about you, Ken? How's it go? What have you been doing?
Well, actually, this week, last week we talked about I got the PS3 for the first time, and so I've been hitting at it pretty hard, and finished up Last of Us this week, actually, which was probably the biggest reason why I got the PS3. I just couldn't wait to experience it the way everybody was talking about it. So finished that up a couple days ago, and definitely I loved it. It was great. I have go ahead.
No, did it live up to the expectations? I mean, I know I put a lot of pressure on you to play it. I mean, was it worth it at the end? Was it worth trading your 360 in and getting a PS4?
Yeah, and I just, anybody's listening, no spoilers, don't worry. But I liked it a lot. I started off, I liked it, but then there was parts of it I didn't like, but as the time went on, I got used to the game mechanics and kind of got pulled into the story, I guess. By the end, I was just completely hooked. I couldn't wait to get to the end to see what happened. I knew, everyone, if you know anything about the game, everyone talks about the ending, and, it definitely left me with something to think about. So
Very nice, man. Yeah, that's one of my. I don't know if it's got Game of the Year wrapped up. I mean, we obviously have Grand Theft Auto 5 coming out next week, and to me, I still like BioShock. It's one of my favorite games of the year. So I don't know. It's going to be a toss-up with me. So we have a new guest this week. He's also helping us with the website. He's another guy we met in WoW, and he's been with us for the past couple of years. His name is Matt, but in-game his name is Java Guava. And, tell us a little about yourself, man.
Actually, I met Shaq and Tips and everybody. I met him through a mutual friend, which was Lee. And I hung out with Lee and a friend of ours, Josh, in college, and found out they played WoW. So we all tried to jump around places together playing WoW, and they kind of found the Kill Jaden server, and I went with them and joined Samurais and Sneakers, and I don't know, I just kind of made some friends that I still keep to this day, and it's pretty cool. So anytime you guys are doing stuff, I like to try and keep up with what you're doing, and I know we all quit for a point, and we all just so happen to want to come back at patch 5.4.
Except me.
Yeah, except for Lee.
Except for Lee. I'm sure he'll explain.
Yeah. But I had a specific hatred for Garrosh Hellscream in WoW when he killed Karen Bloodhoof out of cold blood just because he didn't kind of agree with what he was going to do with the Horde when Thrall left. Like, that whole lore storyline aspect of the game, I was, really into that. And some stuff went down, and I really didn't like this guy. And when I heard you're going to be able to kick his ass in the new patch, I hopped right on board, and I'm really excited for what's to come.
Very nice. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit into WoW. Me, Tips, and Matt have been playing 5.4 the past couple of days. We got some news on what's going on, how's it going, and everything that's going on in the game, how easy it is to get gear and whatnot. So Matt, if you want to go ahead and follow up with what have you been doing this week?
I just actually finished up a full playthrough of Saints Row 4 with a friend, and we were doing it where we'd only play together, so we weren't progressing the story or getting collectibles in the game if both of us weren't there. So we've been playing that. It took us about 30 hours of gameplay, and it has got to be one of my favorite games of all time. It's up there with Uncharted 2 right now. It's hilarious. It's got serious moments, but it literally has everything in it. It does superpowers way better than any superhero game has ever done it. It just does the way you do your missions is way better than any other game I've ever played. So it's one of my contenders for Game of the Year. Considering how silly and stupid it's meant to be, it's still one of my contenders for Game of the Year this year.
Very nice. Yeah, that is one game I have yet to play. I've heard nothing but great things, but my concern was I've been waiting for Grand Theft Auto 5 for 3 years now, I think, and I felt like if I would have started another open world game, it's kind of like hypocritical because we play WoW, but like a game where it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, kind of like the same concept, like I would just be burnt out on it. But that's one game I'm probably going to check out when it goes on sale for sure.
That's one of the things that's so great about Saints Row 4 is that in Saints Row 3, yes, it was a Grand Theft Auto clone, albeit it was a funny version of Grand Theft Auto. It had all the humor. You've got the 4-foot-long purple floppy dildo bat. Like, the game was meant to be over the top and funny.
Right.
And you had the entire city to take over. In Saints Row 4, you're in that same city, and you're kind of retaking it over after. I don't want to go into any spoilers and storyline stuff, but you're taking it back over, so you're playing on the same map. But very early in the game, you get super speed and super jump, so the scale of the game shrinks immensely. Instead of you having to steal a car and drive 3,500 meters to your next destination, you can just jump and glide over the entire city, and what took you 5 minutes to get there now takes you 30 seconds.
Right, that's one thing I was actually really happy that they decided to do, to get them away from that being compared to Grand Theft Auto, because it's at the point now where it's not even the same game anymore.
It's completely a different game.
Right.
But, the voice acting is amazing, the character models are good, the character creation is one of the things that, I think it rivals, some of the best character creators out there. I know, The Sims 3 has a legendary character creator. EVE Online, when they introduced theirs, has a really good character creator. And this one is just the same. I was able to create a spitting image of Fight Club's Brad Pitt with the bald head and the red jacket and everything. And my friend was playing as the spitting image of Ryan Gosling. So the game was absolutely hilarious in cutscenes to see Ryan Gosling and Brad Pitt, playing in this world.
What you and your friend do with your avatars stays between you two guys, obviously. But
I went with Mace Windu. I went with Walter White. You can just keep kind of switching your things at the plastic version, and you can just keep playing with these sliders. So we spent a lot of time in the game downloading these things off the website. So it is a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely.
I think the best one was the Jake Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger combo they did. That was pretty interesting.
I
did see that on Reddit.
That is horrible. Anyways, so is that all you've been playing? Is this some Saints Row 4? Obviously you've been playing WoW.
I came back to WoW. I quit after a week of Pandaria just because I wasn't feeling it. And when I came back, my highest level character was 2 bars out of 85. So I didn't have a single 86. So I had a whole bunch of characters that are around the mid 80s, and I was trying to play them all to see which one I wanted to actually get to max level, and I ended up settling on a druid that was only in his 50s. And then when I realized how long it was actually going to take, I switched over to my old tank, my Death Knight, and I just kind of rushed that to 90, and I've been gearing up over the past couple of days.
Very nice. Like I said, we're gonna talk about some WoW a little bit later on. But so is that all everybody's been doing? I guess I could tell you what I've been doing. I actually got Kingdom Hearts the HD remake. Played it a little bit, and it's actually really awesome to play. I want to start Final Fantasy 14, but I'm not going to start until next week. But I think that's going to take up quite a bit of my time.
I did that one a bit.
Right. Alright, so are you liking Final Fantasy 14?
I do like it a lot. I like it better than the initial launch. Not to say I hated the initial launch. I enjoyed it because it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, which is an updated version of 11. And 11 was very tedious to play. And I feel like 14 addressed some of those issues, but then it ended up bringing a whole lot more issues with the game not being complete and being pushed out before it was actually ready. So they kind of took it down, remade the game, and now the game is 1,000% better. So it is, if I didn't come back to WoW, I would still be playing this every day. But I'm trying to get to 90 and get geared up, and then I'm going to kind of shift gears and max out my character for 14. But yeah, so far it's really pretty. The scale of it is big enough that you feel like you have a lot to do, but not so big as to be kind of overwhelmed. Like with a new person starting WoW today, they've got 3 or 4 expansions to deal with, and leveling with all these zones. It's kind of a big game, and this one's not so much right now. So it's a good scale right now where it is.
Right. Yeah, that's my plan is to obviously catch back up in the WoW, because that's something that me, Ken, and Matt have to do is catch back up to everybody else because we're so far behind. But once I get caught up, it's going to be, get on WoW once a week and then do my LFRs, my rating, and then every other day is probably going to be Final Fantasy 14, GTA 5, Kingdom Hearts probably mixed in between. But enough of that topic. We're going to go ahead and go to our first main topic of the night, and that's the Steam Game Sharing Plan. Now, if you haven't heard of this, it's basically, if you remember in February when Microsoft had their conference at E3 for the Xbox One, they were talking about this plan where you could share with up to 10 of your family and friends basically any of your game library. You could let them borrow the game. You could give them complete access to any game you had once it was downloaded to your console. And, of course, the big backlash was people hated the DRM policy. They were like, no, we don't want an online console at all times. They hated almost everything about what Microsoft had to say. So Microsoft was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and take away everything. You can play your console offline, but you're not going to get this family sharing plan. You're not going to get all these other features that we were going to have. So Steam, being the monopoly in my opinion, in the computer world, was like, that's a brilliant idea. And how about we do it? Because it might boost our sales in certain games. People are going to be going halfways on games, and they're going to be spending more money on Steam. So go ahead and start off with you, Ken. Like, what are you excited about this new Steam program?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you and I both talked about the Xbox and how, the one cool thing they had on PS4 was this the family sharing plan, and they kind of, in order to, I guess people were upset that you wouldn't be able to buy a game and then go trade it in, maybe not fully understanding the power of the family share plan. And so what they kind of did is just caved and got rid of it. And so it's cool. I mean, Steam, besides, the consoles, Steam's where I go for almost all my PC gaming. And so for them having that plan now, I think it's going to be awesome. And, I mean, like you guys know me, I mean, I'm a married guy with one kid and another kid on the way. I don't maybe always have the dispensable income just to buy any game that comes out. So if I can, split a game with a friend or, maybe just check out their games list and something they've bought in the past that I haven't played, I mean, that's pretty awesome. So I don't see how it could go wrong from a fan standpoint. I mean, I don't know from the business side if they'll sell more or make more money, but I mean, if nothing else, I think it gives people who like that Xbox plan maybe a reason to stay on PC rather than go into console. So,
right. I think it also goes to the aspect of, if you have a friend who's never even heard of Steam before, and they're like, "Hey, man, you just borrow my game," and they're like, "How do I borrow it?" You just be like, "Oh, you just download Steam, and I'll share it with you." I mean, it's a lot. Even though Steam is as big as it is today, there's people out there who don't use it at all.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So, and I think it would actually help a lot with the pirating issue that's going on around the world. I mean, I'm sure like Pirate Bay gets used more than Steam does nowadays with all the people just illegally downloading video games. I think that's going to help that out tremendously as well. But I know it's going to affect Lee a lot. I mean, Lee, how do you feel about the plan? It's going to be awesome having to share with between us three and maybe your girlfriend, your family, her friends, everything like that. How do you feel about that?
I think it's pretty good. Because Because not only, I think they did it because if you let someone borrow the game, like, hey man, we could actually play multiplayer, if you go ahead and get this. So, I mean, they're able to try out the game without them physically being there. And I still think that's a, kind of a good plus. And now, I mean, even, I like to try a game. I hate demos because you gotta load the demo and you only get like a taste of it. It's like when you're thirsty, you only get a drop and it's kind of lame. So at least this will give you the mechanic of, go ahead and play as much as you want. Be like, okay, well, I kind of want to see what the multiplayer aspect of this is. And everybody knows, like, Borderlands 2 is 5 times better with people. So I mean, I'm glad they did that. I was real stoked when they said that because now it's just another one thing that PC has up on consoles. So.
Right. That's one thing I did want to say before I get to Matt's opinion on it. I did read up today where it was like the prediction of consoles is probably right behind Steam on this. Like once Steam gets theirs going, it wouldn't be surprising to see in 2014, maybe early 2015, PlayStation and Xbox following suit because it gets to the point where you have to compete with computer, whether you like it or not. So, Matt, what's your opinion on the on this whole Steam sharing?
I think it's a great idea. But then again, like it's going to save me and my brother a lot of money because and PlayStation already kind of does this, but it's a very limited ability to do this. I on my PlayStation account have a subscription to PSN, and my brother doesn't. But anything I get for free on PSN, all I have to do is log into my account on his PlayStation, download the game, and then switch over back to his account, and he can play the game. And then I log onto the game on my PlayStation, and we can play together. So our two accounts are actually linked, and I think you're only able to link one other PlayStation account, like with a PlayStation Network account. So only the two of us can kind of share games, which is a very small scale of what Steam is doing, but it's been this way for years. So if I buy DLC for a game, he gets access to it, and if he buys, like he bought Dragon's Crown, all I had to do was switch to his account on my PlayStation, download it, and now we can play Dragon's Crown together. So we've been doing that and saving money on PlayStation for years. And bringing this over to PC, I'm finally able to play all the single-player games that he's bought, that he's already beaten, that I don't want to fork over $40 just to play. So now, the Tomb Raider game he's got some other stuff that I haven't played yet that I was interested in. Once we get this, we'll be able to share the stuff. And I've got a library of over 150 Steam games. So I'm able to share my library with him, and it's just going to save both of us a lot of money. And on the wider aspect, like what Lee was saying, you're able to let somebody try the game, see if they like it, because you want to play multiplayer with them, or you want them to hear about this game series, and then they've never heard of it. Like with you said you're interested in Saints Row 4. I'm done with it. I'd be more than happy to kind of share it with you, and then you can play with somebody else who's got it shared with them. So I mean, you will get access to the multiplayer, just not with me.
Right.
So it's a cool way to introduce people to new game series. And I know, like you said with Pirate Bay, people illegally downloading stuff. When I got a job, like I had no problem forking over money to buy a $50 game. So, I know some people's situation is different, but if I try something and I desperately want to play the multiplayer with someone and I like it, I mean, it's going to make me buy the game way more than if the person's just like, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this. So if he lets me try it and I like it, I'd be more than happy to buy the game to play with them. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and I don't see why Microsoft dropped this feature. And like you wrote in your article, this was their selling point, and they didn't sell it.
Right. In my opinion, that's the only selling point they had. Like they didn't sell me on anything except for that one feature.
This was their golden ticket, and they let it fall down the drain, and just kind of threw it away.
They definitely did.
Because there was this huge thing about, I don't want this always DRM, and what about this hypothetical situation when soldiers can't play, or what about this situation when so-and-so's internet goes down? When you load up your console today, and pop in Call of Duty, you're connected to the internet. It doesn't say you're connected. You don't have to log in. You're connected. You don't have to worry about it. So, like, I'm going to go 80% of people who own consoles and play these games every day, they have a broadband connection, and this didn't affect them. But those 80% were the people whining and got this amazing game-sharing feature kind of taken away.
Right.
And,
I totally agree with that. I mean, it's at the point where it's like, my Xbox is never offline unless I don't have, like, my internet goes out. And truthfully, if my internet's out, I don't want to play a game anyways. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with my internet.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So,
I don't feel that losing the DRM should have taken away the game share aspect. Like, I don't feel, I mean, yeah, sure, there's hypothetical situations in which this could have happened or that could have happened, but those situations are always going to exist, and just because somebody can't be always connected, don't give them access to your like, make it an opt-in. If they would have made it an opt-in feature to where, I want to turn this always-on thing on, that way I get this cool feature. And I think Microsoft is trying to punish people for making a decision based on information that they themselves didn't give out. They're trying to be like, oh, well, you don't want your DRM, you don't get this awesome feature. And we were like, we didn't know we were getting this awesome feature. And the Microsoft is like, no, it's too late, you can't go back now. And people were like, whatever, if you'd announced it, we wouldn't have bitched, so it's your fault.
I just think it's funny.
I think it's going to lose some sales.
I think it's funny how, I mean, obviously it came up at the right time or when the NSA thing came out. And a lot of people were like, well, I don't want people watching me on this Connect that has to be always on. I don't want people seeing what I have to do. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I know the NSA isn't a good thing at all. It's a horrible thing. But at the end of the day, if you're just a nerd who's playing, like, this Diablo on your console, I think the NSA could give two shits about what you're doing. Like, if you're looking at kiddie porn on your Xbox, first of all, that's ridiculously disgusting, but you deserve to be caught. Like, why would you, if you're sitting there, jerking at the kiddie porn on your TV through your Xbox, I think the NSA should just release that and have your ass stoned in the middle of your town, Like, I don't know. People who were complaining about, there was too many people complaining about the NSA thing.
They were complaining about hypothetical situations.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
On a key note of the NSA, though, the new 5S that came out, right? They have a fingerprint scanner. That is outrageous.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'd be more worried about that than
Did you
anything
see
else.
the meme? It was like, they had a picture of Obama, and he was like, we need everybody's fingerprints, and like the new CEO of Apple was like, we got you covered, man, and he gives a thumbs up.
Oh, nice.
That's probably the funniest meme I've seen so far on the iPhone. But that's about it on the Steam thing. I mean, I think we all agree it's going to be an amazing thing.
I'm excited for it.
Xbox, man, you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball hard.
Definitely. And
we're going to talk more about that later with what the news that came out either today or yesterday about performance issues. But that was a nice segue into the iPhones. I mean, who here wants a new iPhone?
No thanks.
I like Android.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. Android, pretty much all the way. Ken, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, I like Apple I work on Apples all day, and I think they have some great hardware, but I mean, in my mind, I think, iPhone, it'd be kind of cool to try out, but they haven't given me a reason to switch from Android to iPhone, and certainly a reason is not some like supposedly cheaper color coded or color options on the iPhone 5C or whatever. I mean, to me, that's just, who cares? Okay, you can buy a pink or a blue or a green iPhone now, and
right.
I think the big thing they screwed up there was that it was supposedly like this new low cost iPhone, and without a plan, I think in the US it's still going to cost $550. So, I mean,
are we at the point now where annual iPhone is just ridiculous? Is it kind of getting to like Call of Duty standard where it's like, why are we buying this over and over and over again?
It kind of like how the iPads are. Like, here's the iPad, here's the iPad Mini.
Oh, Apple is best known for this. I mean, Apple and Activision, basically. But they release things annually, and it's like, okay, so obviously the phone gets better over a year, but how much better is it getting? Is it worth that $600 where you could be spending $600 on something else? Obviously,
I don't think it is. I think they're selling us the same product with a feature they could have put in the last one and calling it new.
right?
Like I don't know of anything that I would use that the iPhone 5S can do that that my 4G couldn't. I mean, I know you get Siri, but I mean, who wants? Well, I don't even like. That's dumb. When I see somebody standing in like a coffee shop or in Walmart and they're talking to their phone looking for stuff, I'm just like, really, that's really unnecessary. It takes you all of how many seconds to type that into Google if you actually have to search for something. But on the flip side, like my Android, it has a feature that I can talk to it and do stuff, and it's very accurate in what it does. Like I've only had a couple of times where I've said something, but I've said like a niche word that it's not really said a lot. Maybe it's from a video game or it's from a TV show. Yeah. and then my phone will split it up into 2 words, but that's just because the word I chose was wrong. And I've got a friend at work who is a die-hard Apple fan, and he gets the new iPhone the day one every time it comes out. And I put them side by side, turned Siri on, and turned my Google search on, and said something. And out of 10 tries, Apple failed 6 times, and my phone failed only once at finding what I was looking for.
And another thing on top of that, I've had I've never had an iPhone before, but I've known people who have it. My parents actually have one, and I've used the Siri operator, and most of the time it's like, Siri, can you find this for me? And then she comes back and she's like, could not find anything. And I'm like seriously, why are you not doing this? So what's even worse is like these people, like you said, are on Walmart and they're talking to their phone, and the only thing you keep hearing is Siri like yelling back at them like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And her voice is annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they got the most annoying voice to do that whole thing. So
yeah, I agree. It's female, but it's too robotic.
They had a big controversy with it too. They had a point where they would ask where an abortion clinic was, and like the news reporter was standing right next to one, and it was like, they'd say abortion clinics in this area, and it was like none are found, and she's literally standing right there. And then they went to another state and did it. So apparently they knocked out all the abortion clinics.
Well, Apple's had a lot of tumbles with that. I mean, they're the ones who were like, screw Google Maps, we're going to do our own thing. And it turns out that their whole, world map system was a complete failure.
We all know how that turned out.
Yeah, it was horrible. So they went back to Google Maps, I think.
Yep.
But
I liked, there was a thing posted online saying, if you're ever kind of feeling down about yourself or blah, 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 just always remember that the icon for Apple Maps has you taking a left turn off of an overpass.
yeah.
And if you look at it, it was like turn left here, and you can clearly see you're driving on a bridge, and it says turn left off the bridge.
That is funny. That reminds me of like an Office episode where Michael Scott just drives his car into the water. But anyway, so back to a new topic. iPhone obviously isn't that great in my opinion. I'm gonna go with whatever, like a Galaxy Notebook 7 or whatever the hell they're on when I get an upgrade. But on to the next topic. There's this new thing by Gigabyte, these new computer systems that are smaller than a GameCube, and basically can play almost any game on the market. I think Crysis 3 ran at 60 frames per second, if I'm correct, Ken. But these things are going to be cheap, not cheaply made, but they're going to be kind of cheap to buy, about $500 to $600. It doesn't come with a hard drive or any of the major components that you're going to have to save on. It's going to come with a USB 3.0 drives. I think it's got Ethernet capabilities, and it comes with a headset out jack. But these things are actually pretty cheap, and for the average gamer, like what we complain about is computer gaming being so expensive, I think this might be the new wave of the future for computer gamers. So what do you think about that, Ken?
Yeah, it's basically just a stripped down gaming PC where, I think, yeah, like you said, I think it's $599, something like that. And the only thing you really have to do is buy a hard drive for it and install an operating system on it. and you're ready to go. So it might be an option for a lot of people who, I mean, really entry level, if you want a serious gaming computer, if you want to have one built, on the web or something like that, I mean, you're talking like $1,200 just to get in the door. So, it's a little bit cheaper even than, just a decent pre-made like Dell or something like that, where it's, $800 or $900. So you're not paying for all the additional software and, some of the other bells and whistles that you don't need. So I mean, it's nice to have another option out there for sure.
Right. So Lee, I mean, do you see this taking off pretty quick? I mean, I know you're the computer guy here, and would you rather have a smaller computer pack size that you could take anywhere you wanted with you, or would you rather just keep building up your computer that you have now?
I'd rather just keep on building. I mean, that's just me personally.
Right.
To the fact is, it's kind of like my car, man. It's what I put into it, the work I did. I mean, it's kind of cool. But no one, to me, I don't like cookie cutter type of, things. Like what Dell or Gateway not really Gateway anymore, like Asus or anything like that. It's just kind of.
Gateway still exists?
No, they got bought out by, the Asus.
Oh, okay. Asus.
Yeah. The Asus, yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, it's good, and I can see the advantages for other people. I personally won't be doing it, because if I really want to bring something, I'll just bring over a laptop. So.
Right. Very nice. Matt, do you see this product taking off, or?
I'm kind of in the same boat with Lee. I see the good side of it. Like, for people who aren't in the PC gaming market yet, it's a good console price entry level for them to get. But as for me, I've already put all the work into my PC. If I need something new, I buy a piece at a time to upgrade. It's not going to cost me a bulk $1,200. So, like, I've already got the $1,200. So if there's something new that I need to play a game, that's only maybe $150 for me, or less, depending on what I need.
Everybody's pretty much on the same page as to if you already have a computer.
I think it's a good idea, but
you're probably not getting one.
Yeah, if you've already got the system, this isn't for you.
I will say, for all the people out there, like on League of Legends, where it takes 20 minutes of the game to start for you to load in, and you're playing on
potato.
You've got a potato with like wires connected to it. You might want to just check this out. It's only $600.
Please.
So if you sell your food stamps and whatever else, and maybe cobble some money together, you might be able to, maybe I can get into a game inside of 20 minutes.
Playing on that ice stone.
Now on that aspect, do you think this will be a viable option for competitive PC gaming instead of being? I mean, I know these tournaments get sponsored by like Alienware or BenQ, but
no,
do you think this is another sponsor?
Like he said, I mean, I think it can play Crysis 3 and it can handle a lot of the, I guess you could say like standard graphics games. But when you start talking about competitive or, where you want the top notch, it's not that fast.
I think he's talking on sponsorship wise.
Yeah, I mean, are these things customizable? Can you say, okay, I want the $5.99, or is there like a $7.99 option with some upgrades?
There's a difference between. I think there's like a $500 one and then a $600 one. I'm not sure what the differences are. But as for right now, there's not really that much customization you can do to it. Like, okay. You obviously can't put a Titan graphics card in this thing because it literally is the size of an Xbox controller. So you're not going to be getting the computing power of, say, a Titan or the highest NVIDIA card you can get. But as for like being competitive to like sponsorship wise, I don't think they'll ever be that big. Right. Just for the fact of it's just most people who are interested, like we've all said, already have a computer. And I mean, if you're that interested in computers, you've probably already suited your computer pretty much, to the equivalent of one of these Gigabyte boxes.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great entry level for people who maybe they can't play, let's say, WoW at full settings yet, or, like I said, they're having trouble playing, just a game like League or something like that. They can go out for $600 and get into a game or a system that'll let them do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Is this thing comparable? Like, this is the first I've heard of it, but is this thing comparable to an equally priced laptop, or would it be better?
See, that's the thing. I think they're actually taking laptop technology with the graphics card to shrink it down, and they're actually using like graphics chips instead of an actual graphics card. So I think it would be pretty comparable to a laptop. But you're obviously not getting a keyboard, you're not getting a screen, you're not getting speakers. So I mean,
but really, there's not a lot of $600 gaming laptops out there. I mean, I've got a $400 laptop, and I couldn't even open most games probably with it.
Right, that's true.
So I mean, there's good and bad. I mean, there's not really any bad aspect of it. I mean, it's not like it's gonna, destroy the custom PC, because, but at the same time, it's really good for people that are on a tight budget, still want to play the good games, and still not make me wait 40 minutes for a load time. The thing I see this going towards more is people who are on the road more. I guess, like if you're a traveling guy and you just like, you're staying at hotels every other night. You can buy a monitor that fits in a travel case on Amazon, and you just hook this thing up and you play League of Legends for while you're crashing at a hotel with shitty internet. It's probably better with the hooker, most likely. But most of the people on League of Legends, their internet's horrible anyway, so it'd probably be up to par with that. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and move into the League of Legends category, where Lee is a mastermind. So what's going on this week? Anything new? Yeah, all the pool party skins came out. You got Lee Sin, Leona. Ziggs has always been out, right. And Renekton and Graves. Yeah, so they're all out, which is kind of neat little Easter egg. You can kind of see if you click on all the individual skins of each champion, you kind of see like new people they're going to put in. Even like loading screen, you see like Morgana in the back. There's a Zac also, so hopefully we get a new Zac instead of purple Zac.
Right.
And the new champion is that if you go to LeagueOfLegends.com, you kind of see they have like a segment on it. They're releasing a champion that's actually like kind of like a Chinese dragon type of look to it. It was actually, if you were there for the release of the new Udyr Ultimate skin, the $30 one or whatever, $35. It's actually who he fights. It's the person at the end. It looks similar like that, so I'm not sure if exactly that's it or, the story about that's still in the works. But that's a new champion, yeah, and apparently it's going to be a support. So that's the new word on the street. I'm not sure that's not like validated all the way. So
yeah, what they've teased, it looks kind of like the Cloud Serpents from WoW.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's traditional Cloud Serpent Chinese dragon. They've hinted that it could be a support. They did give us the name, Ao Shin, and they said Ao means blah blah blah, and Shin means blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And so we think this is the perfect name for our champion, and keep an eye out. They said it's not going to be the next one. They didn't say whether it's going to be the one after that. I'm guessing maybe the third or fourth champion coming out. And if we're really lucky, it'll be the second coming out. But no, I don't know if they've even hinted at the next champion.
It's still like really, really.
Yeah, it's still far away. But I think they wanted to show that, hey, you guys wanted a dragon champion. We're making a dragon champion that's not not always a dragon.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. I'm a little disappointed just because I'm not that big into Chinese Cloud Serpents. They all look alike, first of all. So you got them in other games. How are you going to tell the difference?
Well, I guess that's the thing. I think the first one I can remember is Wind Waker. Zelda Wind Waker to play it. So it's whatever.
Yep. Dude, I don't even know what to say to that. Like I'm still kind of thinking, like, is that a racist comment or?
It's racist against Chinese Cloud Serpents.
That's horrible. Anyways, speaking of legendary skins, was it Jaina who got a new skin, legendary?
Yeah, Forecast Jaina. That is, I haven't seen it in game yet, but
it's pretty good.
It looks awesome.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Like they changed, of course, our emotes, and she actually flies really far. Like she's taller than a turret, so it's kind of cool.
Very nice. Yeah, kind of like whenever I see her flying, like I just imagine like Storm from the X-Men movies where she was like floating all the time. That's what I kind of think of whenever I think of that. But I didn't want to talk about this tonight because this is something that's affected all of us, and we've been part of it. None of us can lie about it, but the League of Legends community and how crappy it is. Like, how is Riot, like, how can they fix this? There's obviously a way you can fix it, because, I would like to compare it to Microsoft's new thing with the Xbox One, how you can kind of, you put people into categories of how douchey they are, and you don't have to play with those guys. And I feel like Riot needs to come up with something quick to fix this community, because it is probably the worst community I've ever been in. And that's saying a lot, because I've been in the Call of Duty community, I've been in the WoW community, the Dota community. I mean, I've been in all of them, and this is by far probably the worst one I've been in. So, Lee, you're the expert here, man. How do you think we can fix this?
Well, I mean, they have an ignore feature, but you can't ignore the douches fast enough, because you'll always get teamed up with them.
Right.
And, like, I even started a Smurf, just to mess around, just have a good time. And it's still, like, even the people that are smurfing, you could tell that they're still making fun of the people that literally just started the game.
Right.
Like, oh, look at you, noob, I just totally, I'm like, yeah, I know, he's, it's an Ashe buying Trinity Force. You could totally tell he doesn't have boots at level 18. I mean,
right.
You could totally tell, like, and, I always go in all chat, or, like, if they're on my team, give them guidance, but it seems like it's a league of douchebags. That's all it is. And
it really is, and it's so hard for a new player to join this game without feeling like, because there is, with how many Smurfs there are. I mean, we've joined you on the Smurf situation. There's no getting away from other Smurfs. Like, we've actually fought like more level 30s in Smurfing accounts than we have in our actual level 30 accounts. It's like every Smurf game we get into, it's just a Smurf completely, and you have that one new guy who just gets shit on by everybody.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I always feel bad. Yeah.
How do you? Well, I would not want to play this game. Like, it happened to us multiple times, but us four. I mean, we're at the point now where we're old enough to not care. Like, I don't care about the other guy on the other side of the screen, who's talking crap about me, because it's over the internet. I don't care what people say. But if you're talking like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old who's just getting shit on over and over and over again, I'm probably not playing this game at the age of 12 or 13, unless I'm good at it. Obviously, if I'm good, then.
Well, see, you guys are playing it all wrong. What you have to do is you pick that group of friends and don't play without them. Like, when I play, like, I don't play ranked because I don't like it. I mean, I don't like the people in it, so I kind of stay away from it. And I know that's where, like, the big part of the game is in ranked. But, like, playing normals is a lot less douchey. I mean, you still get the people who aren't that good at people, but it's a lot less douchey than ranked. I don't think, like, if there was a way they could eliminate smurfing accounts, I think the game would get a whole lot better. I think you should get one account, and you should play that account. If you're 30, too bad, you're 30. You don't get to play in low level games.
But how would they go about doing that? I mean, because you need a new email address.
All you gotta do is make a new email address, and you can make 1 million of those a night. So yeah, I don't know how they could do it, but I don't feel like maybe putting a lockout. Like, once you log into one account on your computer, it logs that, and if you try and log into another account, it restricts you.
I think that what they could do. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay. I was just going to say, I mean, it's not really just a problem of higher level players going down and playing with lower levels and yelling at them. It's really just, it seems like no matter what level you play at, or if you're ranked or normal or ARAM, whatever you're playing, they don't do a good enough job of discouraging players from, I guess, raging, really. I mean, you just have some...
It's his attitude.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When I play with my friend Steven, and we always play together. He does ADC, and for a long time I was just doing support just so I could play with him. But over time, playing normals with him, like, we don't always win all our games because you kind of can't rely on those other people. And even being an amazing support carry team, we would still kind of lose games even when we're doing everything right. So I'm switching over to play AP mid, and so far all the games we played, one of us carries enough. And if both of us carry, we kind of win the game. So, and mind you, this is playing only in normals, so we're not playing in ranked here. But when we play, we get to the point where we're the good players on the team. If we get a third good player, that's great. But if you don't, then, who cares? So I think if you want to have less stress in this game, you've got to play a role that can carry. Or you've got to be able to play a champion in an off role that can still carry. I think that's where the stress comes from.
I disagree with that completely. Because my girlfriend plays, and the only thing she plays is support, and she beats me in rank. So I don't think it's that. It's literally just the attitude of the team. Because not to say that like normals is kind of different. It's not really. I love normals because I can ADC Karthus if I want. Who cares? It's normal. It's not like it's affecting anybody's rank or, they're not going to lose any more IP, but, it's really just the attitude. It just kind of goes to show.
I think probably at least 20% of the games are obviously lost at the character select screen just because of the typing. Like, it doesn't matter who you pick character-wise. But just the people who, okay, you called ADC first. Congratulations. But you're going to have another guy underneath him say, no, I called it first, and you start an argument. And now you have these two guys who are picking ADC characters, and they're locking in. Like, they don't give a shit about what's going on. I think you get rid of the beginning pre-game. Like, I think there should be an option to where you can play a whole separate list, and you can queue up for what you want to play. I think that would eliminate a lot of the beginning game stress of,
like a dungeon finder?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you queue for your role, and then you only get queued for roles chosen to complement
maybe even lock in your tune before you go in the queue, and then it's puts you on a team where you fit that role or whatever. I mean, the only problem you'd have is with certain tunes, I guess, that aren't always the same role, but,
Yeah, but then you're going to get people like Shaq who lock in Teemo every game, so...
Right, but if he does that, he's got to wait longer in queue. It's up to him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and if I queue up with three of my friends, I mean, our queue will obviously be faster. Obviously, nobody's going to want to play support. That's where the game would slow down.
I enjoy playing support, so, I mean, if you queue up for the support role, it's like queuing up for a tank in WoW.
You get instant queue.
You get instant queue. So, yeah, I think people who want to play more often, I think it'd be a good idea to put a queue system like that, like a role.
You can still leave the old way, like, if people want to do it that way, but just have that option.
Because, I mean, I would rather wait in queue for 5 or 8 minutes, as opposed to spend an extra 20 minutes in game arguing with a team, like my own team, and we could have won 30 minutes ago. It's one of those things where it's just so frustrating because the game is a great game. I love playing it, but...
You just gotta carry harder, man.
Yeah, I wish I could. I mean, I'm honestly not that great at the game or I wouldn't be complaining about it.
Dude, I mean, Shaq's been in games where I carried... Like, me and him both carried so hard and we still lost.
Oh, man, there's times where me, Lee, and even Ken would just go off on a team and we would have 2 bottom feeders, and that would be it.
Just game over.
Yeah, it wouldn't even matter what happens. So,
yeah, and it's not just winning and losing. I mean, like you said, I mean, you have people where literally they're doing bad, you might be carrying, and they're just raging on you because something, whatever, just something you did that they didn't like.
I just don't have this problem, I guess. Like,
oh, that's good.
I mean,
you need to play ranked, man. You need to go in ranked to see the...
When I play with people, we don't, like... It's not like, okay, we have a mid, and we have a jungler, and we have a top. We try and put somebody in every lane. It's if I play with 3 people, there's 1 person in every lane. That way we can talk to each other and kind of control the map better. But if you leave an entire lane up to chance, I think that's where a lot of stress is going to come in, because you can't rely on those people.
Well, I mean, queuing with just yourself and one other friend, you're leaving up 3 lanes to chance. I mean...
Which is why I switched to AP mid, because we need more control over the map, so I switched to another lane. And it's made my experience and Steven's experience a tenfold better. Like, it's so much better being able to control more of the map. So
I'll play any position. I don't really care what the position is. I still get in queues where it's just
support Teemo.
A shit show. I play support Lux, and people give me shit all the time about it.
That's a competitive pick.
Well, I mean, do you play? Okay, to answer, do you play blind or draft pick?
I play blind,
Okay,
just because I like playing the champions I want to play.
So what you need to do is play one draft pick, and then then you get told what you're gonna go. Because if you're last pick, you're fucked. So you need to either try ranked or try a draft pick before.
Ranked is horrible. It's a horrible system. I mean, because me and Lee have been at the bottom of this list probably 100 of the past 101 games we've played, and I get stuck with support, and Lee gets stuck playing top or something he doesn't want to play, and it just, the rank system to me is so flawed when it comes to stuff like that. I just don't understand. They're like, and people are like, hey, if you don't want to play support, then learn how to play one. It's like,
yeah, that's exactly what I did. Like, I see these problems and then I fix them when I play.
Yeah,
if I get stuck with support, or if nobody likes doing support, I heal in WoW. I'll take the support role and I'll do my job. But what I see, like, when people say I got mid, no, I got mid. Somebody is forced into support, into a role they don't want to do.
Okay, well let me give you the scenario.
Teach people to suck it up.
Let me give you the scenario. Okay, you're in a ranked queue, and you're first pick, and I'm being you in this situation. I'll do whatever the team is needed, and you ask your team, hey, what do we need? And nobody says they want to play support. And you have one guy who's not answering at all, and you pick whatever you want. You pick ADC for instance, and you're like, okay, whatever. Nobody said support, so I guess that bottom guy will just do it. And you go through, and then 5 minutes later,
if nobody says anything, I bite the bullet and jump on the grenade, and I pick the support carry.
Okay, even better situation, even better scenario. You pick support. And then the guy at the bottom goes, I can only play support. He comes back 5 minutes later and says, all I do is play support, and I can't ADC to save my life. Now you're screwed, because that bottom guy, the ADC, the most important role in the game, in my opinion, he's going to suck. He's not going to farm very well. He's going to suck up the whole game, and you got to support him.
Well, I mean, say I picked a support character and say, if nobody wants to do it in support, and then he's like, I can only support, well then, pick a champion I have and we'll switch. If you're playing draft, there's champion swap. And like, once he says, oh, I'm back, I can only play support, well then be like, oh, well, do you have Caitlyn, do you have, blah, 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 okay, who's the free...
what happens if you take Leona, and he doesn't have Leona, and that's the only, you don't understand, you have to play. Yeah. We'll come back to this next segment, and you need to play your provisionals. Play 10 ranked games, and you come and see how much you hate this game.
I played one, and I played as Thresh, and I was the deciding factor in the game, and it scared the shit out of me so bad that I haven't played another.
Exactly. So you need to come and play with the special ed kids I play with, because I literally have gotten to the top of Bronze 1 and fell all the way down to Bronze 3. I've been, I'm not saying I'm the best player, but I'm not bad by any means, Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll do anything, I know how to support. I'm not saying that because if someone says they're not good at support, they're fucking lying. Because the only thing to do is ward and help out the ADC. How hard is that?
It's very hard. I hate support.
Well, that's the only thing you have to do. I mean, but at the same time, it's like,
I just don't like the champions.
If you give TF, I'll guarantee 25. At least 25, or I'll have kills and assists that equal to 25. I'll help bottom lane, or I'll go up.
That's another thing too. This is gonna be my last input on it, but I play League of Legends to have fun, and I'm not having fun playing support. Why would I play a game where I'm not having fun? I'm just like, well, this is stupid. Here's a sight ward. All right, now I get to heal you every now and then.
You got to get different friends.
You gotta play Zyra.
I'll play support gladly. Or play an off role. Don't follow the meta. Like if you want to play Lee, if he wants to play Karthus every game, and somebody else is in mid, you've got jungle Karthus, you've got AD Karthus, it doesn't matter.
You're not doing that in ranked.
Yeah, I would never do that in ranked. I'm just saying,
because you would get shit on. People would literally, not just by the other team, by your own team.
But what I do is when I get stuck
I don't play ranked, so
you buy a kill lane support. You need to buy Zyra. I mean, anything like that, and then, dude, just build her like you would regular build. just buy like 2 wards.
I think if you're playing ranked in this game, you've got to play the game to win. You've got to, like, if you don't have these win lane champions...
Well, shit, that's my problem the whole time. I've been playing the game to lose.
Yeah, you play Teemo every game.
No, I don't play Teemo every game.
Okay, I think what was good about this discussion is we kind of got to the root of what the problem with the League of Legends community is. And that is that no one can agree on shit in that game.
Yeah,
so
true.
let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah, that's kind of a big rant. We'll make sure we edit that out.
Just play with me, and I'll play your support, and then we'll win. We'll go Diamond 1 in a week. I swear.
Is that how it is?
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Okay.
Just play with me, and I'll support.
Anyways, guys, all right, we're gonna go on to the next topic. So who all here is a big Harry Potter fan? I know Lee is.
Fuck Harry Potter.
Expelliarmus.
So wait, what is this new movie about?
Okay, so
Is it about the kid?
what kid?
Because then it should be
Harry Potter's kid?
Albus Potter. Yeah.
No, it's not about him at all. It's not about him at all. The whole movie, the new movie, is Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them, is a book that JK Rowling wrote for comic relief. And what it is it's actually a book in the movie. In part 1, you remember the book, I think it was the actual book that was like an animal.
Part 1?
No, Matt. Why would Deathly
Sorcerer's
Hallows Part
Stone.
1? Yeah, Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
You know the
You
book?
said Part 1. Go on.
All right.
I'm not a huge Harry Potter nerd, you guys.
Everybody who's listening to the podcast, Matt will not be here for the next 3 months. He's on permit. Anyways, so in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, I think that's when it was, Harry had like a book that was like an animal, like he tried to keep it closed or whatever, and it would like open up and start biting him. That's the actual book that she wrote. She wrote a school book, and what it is it's this wizard who went on this adventure to find almost every magical creature and find out what they do. And the movie is going to be based 70 years before Harry's adventure even starts, and just going to go on the adventure of this guy who's just going around the world looking for magical creatures and seeing what they do and writing a book about it.
Now, I know you're going to call me a huge nerd and a fag, but was this, by any chance, Gilderoy Lockhart's book?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Newt Scamander.
Yep, Newt Scamander. That's the writer of Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them. No, that's. I mean, it's not nerdy. I mean, it obviously is nerdy, but
I know these character names. Like, it's nerdy. Trust me.
No,
If it wasn't nerdy, we wouldn't be talking about it.
True.
But I'm actually really excited. I mean, this is one of my favorite things. I'm only 22 years old, and I've been following Harry Potter since I was probably 9 or 10. Reading the books late at night, going to Walmart every release date, picking up the new book. And when the movies came out, I thought they were phenomenal. Like, the movies are on par, pretty good to the books, in my opinion. And I cannot wait to get back into this world. Just to see it on the big screen is going to be that much more awesome. Or maybe we'll see some cameos.
Now, is this a book you can purchase and read, or is it just...
You can purchase the book right now. She's actually got a couple off here, like a Quidditch book and how to play Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them. She's actually got a few other books.
Step 1 Quidditch.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it is. It's actually, they're all...
broom. There's actually people who play like Quidditch. There's college leagues and stuff where you run around with broom in between your legs.
Is that what you do in your free time?
It's a real thing. I'm not
crazy.
lying to you.
That's interesting. We were talking about that the other day. Like, that's like sport of the
really
future.
good at it, you guys.
What, having the broom between your legs?
I'm kidding. I've never played. I've never seen it played. I just know it exists.
Anyways, so back to the movie part. Ken, I know you're excited for it. My biggest thing is to see what Lee has to say about it, because he is probably the biggest fanboy of Harry Potter I've ever known.
You know me. I've been to Universal Studios or wherever.
For those of you who don't know, he actually has a Harry Potter lightning scar. He has that tattooed on his lower back. That's how big he is.
It's a nice tramp stamp for spells to go upon, if you know what I mean. But
so what's your quarrel with this? I mean, there's Harry Potter.
Dude, I never gotten that craze, man. It just looks stupid to me. I mean, I literally seen the first like maybe 5 minutes of it, and it was like apparently he's like an orphan or something, and
Typical Twilight fan.
you know, and like I don't know. And then after like I fell asleep and I woke up where they were playing like chess, and he goes like checkmate, and then the dude had no.
Chess.
Yeah, I mean, he had like no nose, and I was like, this looks stupid. And then I just never picked it up ever since.
Okay, first of all, before we even get any further, ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy who calls himself a nerd and hates Lord of the Rings.
I don't
so let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
I hate Lord of the Rings.
Have you seen the original trilogy?
Okay, the only trilogy I know of is Star Wars, and that's the only
okay.
trilogy that should ever be known.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, so no Lord of the Rings for this guy. No Harry Potter. I don't know, what else do you not like?
I don't know what else is there.
Like Back to the Future trilogy, you didn't like that either?
Oh, listen, Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. But anyways, he doesn't like those kind of things, so Harry Potter is so good, I don't understand how he doesn't like it.
I just don't know, man. Can't get into it. It seems like another Twilight adventure, and
for a guy who played WoW for like 7 years, like all about magic and all that stuff, it's just crazy to me how you just don't like it.
I think we should do a segment like once every podcast. We'll just call it the hate segment, and we'll just let Lee talk about one popular thing that he doesn't like.
That'd be awesome.
So am I just like too hipster to hate it?
The Beastie Boys, GTA,
dude, let's
Harry
not
Potter,
ever,
Lord of the Rings.
ever recognize that name in this whole kind of cinema.
Oh man!
I don't want to steal all your topics off right now. We'll save it. But
you need a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Dude, how? Okay, I was actually explaining to Eve, my girlfriend, on how much I hate the Beastie Boys. If Hitler was still alive, and either one of those two remaining members, I'm so happy the other one died, but if the other remaining two members, and Hitler was still alive, and he was still like committing all these horrible acts of war crimes, I think I would rather shoot the Beastie Boys if I had one bullet. Like, I would just line them up, and I'd let Hitler live, because their music is genocide to my ears. It's that bad.
That is horrible.
That is horrible.
I'm just saying, man.
So all
I'm
three
pretty sure.
we just
I'm pretty
lost.
sure if Hitler was still alive and committing war crimes and atrocities, he would be doing it against the League of Legends community. Let's be honest. So
I'm
he's
not
making the
condoning
world.
any type of murder between what he did was horrible. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's.
I'm pretty sure at least one or two, if not all three, of the Beastie Boys are Jewish. No lie. So I mean, maybe that problem will just solve itself. Okay, that's another section we'll probably just cut out.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut that one out. Anyway, so back on the Harry Potter thing. Like, Ken, are you excited?
I am very excited. I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. Now, I didn't grow up reading the books. I was a little bit older when they came out, and but I still read them, enjoyed them, and I thought the films did a great job with a pretty long series. I mean, the books, each individual books, 500 or 600 pages, and they did just a great job of, transferring them to film. So, I'm super excited about it. And I think also she's signed on to write some additional screenplays beyond just this one that they've already agreed to do. So there may be multiple additional Harry Potter universe movies. And I like the idea that they're not any way tied to that previous, that other story. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in that world, and they can go out and go to completely different countries and away from Hogwarts and just, tell a whole different story with it. So I'm excited for it.
Right. Could you just imagine if she had like a Voldemort series? Like, obviously we know who Voldemort is and what he did, all these crimes he committed, but all the stuff he did before killing Harry's parents, we don't even know of. Could you just imagine if she were write another 7-book series of just Tom Riddle growing up and then becoming the man he is? That to me would be awesome. Just to see how he became such a, powerful wizard and what he did and all that stuff.
Well, to throw it back into Lee's court, the only problem I have with that idea is that the idea of doing a backstory on how a good character became a villain kind of got destroyed with episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars for me. So anytime they start talking about that, it scares me a little bit.
That's kind of weird because you're a fan of Breaking Bad, and I kind of feel like that's the route Walt's taking.
Right? Yeah. But I mean, it's different because, I mean, it's just you're not going back, to see someone. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I see what you're saying. So Matt, I mean, you seem like you were interested. Are you pretty excited for this movie?
I could care less. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm not crazy excited, but I'm also not crazy against it. It's a new Harry Potter thing. It's good for the fans. And I grew up reading Harry Potter, and I have, like anybody who read the book first, I've got some discrepancies with the movies, leaving kind of the best parts out or important parts out. But no, for the most part, they've transferred them all pretty well to film. And I don't know, I just think another book especially that kind of book, it seems like a weird idea. And sure, for the fans it's great, but it's not something that I need to, fork over $7.50 to go see in theaters. So, mm-hmm. I mean, it's not something I have to absolutely watch.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand that. I mean, a lot of people are just kind of like, it doesn't really have anything to do with the main story, so it's not really that big of a deal.
I don't know. I'm kind of apathetic to all sorts of fanboydom. I think I'm one of the only people in the world who could care less about GTA 5. So, I mean, this is a cool thing. I'm glad they're expanding the universe. I think it's a really good idea to have an expanded universe because it kind of brings the world more to life. If you look at Star Wars, people have been writing Star Wars books for decades, and that's really fleshed out. So if you want a new story in Star Wars, if you just like that universe, check out the books because it's a great expanded universe. I just think if she released the rights and to certain authors to expand this universe better, I think that would be a better choice than just kind of making a movie about a school book.
Yeah, I can see where you're going. That's very fine. So you're not looking forward to GTA 5. Lee's not looking forward to GTA 5, and me and Ken couldn't be more excited. So,
are we fanboys? Is that what what Matt just tried to say about us?
I know. I didn't mean.
I think he called us fanboys.
I didn't mean
I'm hurt.
Mac nerds or anything.
GTA 5. All right, go ahead, Matt.
It's I played GTA 3, and yes, it was revolutionary. It was something that no other game was. And then San Andreas came out, and I played San Andreas, and it was really good. And Vice City came out, and it was a similar game. And then GTA 4 came out, and it was the same game, which I could care less about. I could not care less about Nico Bellic. Seriously, it's the bottom of the barrel of care down here. So, I don't know. It's the same game. You're playing a dude. I mean, this one you're playing 3 dudes, but you start out at the bottom and you kind of try and work your way to the top. Yeah, this one brings different aspects of that, and now you have 3 characters, but I mean, it's...
How many MMOs have you played?
A lot.
Okay then. So you're excited for GTA 5. So are you, the new map came out, the new map size.
Yeah.
And it just got massively huge. Part 3, Vice City and San Andreas put together, and the map is still bigger than those 3 maps. How many hours are we going to spend in this game?
A couple hundred.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And back to you, Matt, I was just trying to say, if you're mad about the repetitive gameplay, I mean, MMOs are the same.
It's not the competitive, or the repetitive gameplay. It's not that every game is the same. It's just that, I don't know,
I get what you're saying.
I can't get on board and have it be a day one purchase. It's not something that I absolutely need to be the first to play. And I mean, I know, sure, yeah, one day I'll play it, and I'm more than certain it's going to be an amazing and fun game. It's just I don't see why I have to be the first person to play it. It's going to be an amazing game. I don't dispute that. It's going to be revolutionary in its field. The multiplayer is going to be fantastic. It's just another Grand Theft Auto game that is going to polish what the last one was. And I know I play, 17 or 18 different MMOs over, the course of 10 years, but they were all, like, I don't still play them because none of them, none of them were better than WoW. I didn't do dailies in WoW because I didn't like the whole repetitive thing. I like trying to do something different all the time. And I think just playing the same game again, like, I can't finish GTA 4 because I don't care about the character. So if I don't care about these characters, I'm not going to finish the game. So if you can make me like these characters, that's the problem. Is you have to make me like the character I'm playing. So when I'm playing an MMO, I made this character. I like it. When I'm playing, like, Saints Row, I made that character. I like it. So if I could make a character and play it through these Grand Theft Auto games, yeah, I think it would be the best game ever. And I would be totally on board with it day one. But if you force me onto a character and I don't end up liking that character, I'm not going to finish the game.
See, I'm completely opposite. I'd rather have a character already made up for me with a predetermined story. Like, that's what, like, Last of Us and BioShock, that perfect. Like, if I were to make Booker DeWitt, I would probably not like that game because I'd be like, it's kind of cheesy. It's like going to the movies and being like, all right, so we're gonna take a picture of your face and you're gonna be in the movie and you're gonna watch yourself do this. I'd be like, that's kind of lame.
Depends on what kind of movie we're talking.
Lee would love it because he's watching Brokeback Mountain a lot.
Dude, I got a poster. Whatever.
I'm gonna be in the next Scarlett Johansson film.
Oh, I mean,
I'll be the one that's banging whoever. I'll be like, yeah, just put my face up there. That's cool.
But that's when it, like what you said with Booker DeWitt and with Joel, what's his last name? Those are characters that have a good story. You like those characters because the story is so good. If this story is so good that I like the character, I'll pick the game up and I'll play it forever. But like I'm saying, if, like, I didn't like Nico at all. I was like, okay, he's a Russian who wants to make a new life, and I didn't get far enough into the story because the beginning of the game sucked for me. Like, it was just a whole bunch of my cousin bothering me and my girlfriend bitching at me. I can get that in real life, so what do I need to play Dating Simulator 2000 whatever for? Like, I don't.
The first anybody's ever compared Grand Theft Auto to a dating simulator.
Well, apparently you don't live life on the streets, then.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like Nico. I didn't like, what was his name in Vice City? I didn't like him.
Ooh.
I don't know. Like,
You didn't like Vice City?
No, not really.
Anyway, so Lee, I know you're not a big fan of it, but if GTA does get released on PC, are you going to give it a shot?
Probably not.
Really? You're not interested in it at all?
The only GTA I played a little bit of the third one. I played a little bit of Vice City because, it just happened to be there wherever I was at, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. I get it's cool, you have the freedom to do whatever, but, I mean, you can only beat up a hooker so many times where it just gets stupid. So, I'm just like, take it or leave it. The first one was really good with the bird's eye view, and you have to go to, like, little payphones, but, yeah, it's not like this is like, on my waiting list, I've been waiting for this forever. It's GTA, man. I mean, it's just committing crime. There's something cool about it, I guess. I don't know. Not saying like the most stand-up citizen in the world, but it just seems repetitive. And I mean, this coming from, I play League all the time, so it's the same map, same everything, but I don't know. If I pay $60 for a game, it has to kind of catch my interest. I was saying I won't give it a try. Like I said, I'll pick it up and still play. It's not like I have like a hate list for it. It's just I literally I don't really see any much to it. It's just GTA and let's remake the same game, put 80s music behind it. That's what they did with Vice.
Well, that's kind of how, like, in my opinion, that's kind of like Skyrim, though. It's kind of just Oblivion, but it's different skins.
That's a whole other topic I could go on to.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. I mean, Oblivion and Skyrim are basically the same game, just Skyrim looks a lot better.
Oh, definitely.
I put 20 hours into Skyrim before I quit because I went Stealth Archer and the game was too easy.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I guess everybody has their own favorite game, obviously. I just happen to like them all. But so, okay, since we're the only ones who are excited for it, dude, this map size is insane. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
It's going to be awesome. I know you brought up this week too the cost. They spent something like $260 million between marketing and just developing in the game. So, and they expect I guess the sales projections are pretty big for it. So,
in the billions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll be a success, and people who like it, like you and I, will enjoy it, and it's okay. I mean, I understand what Matt and Lee are saying. I hope it has a great story and pulls people in because, I mean, that's definitely becoming more and more of a part of gaming. I mean, always, I think some of the classic RPGs, the reason why they are so popular is because of the great stories, but maybe in the early times in gaming, sometimes the stories weren't there, and I think now, more than ever, that's, when you're, unless you're talking about like, a League of Legends or something like that, story is really important. So hopefully on this new one, they'll get it right. I mean, for whatever reason, I like Nico Bellic, but I've heard it from a lot of people, even Shaq, who I know likes GTA, who didn't care for him specifically.
Right.
So
yeah, the story wasn't that great to me.
So that is something they need to work on. So hopefully this one will be better.
For sure, yeah, I got a lot of high hopes for GTA 5. I mean, we're obviously going to be putting hours into it. The multiplayer looks amazing. And that obviously drops next week, so we'll be doing probably a couple reviews on that one, I'd assume.
Yep.
Well, let's see. So, on to another topic. Me and Matt, I know, stayed up until like 4 o'clock in the morning listening to the Sony press conference, and a lot of things were announced. And Matt, if you want to, you can go ahead and start us off. Like, what do you think that just caught your eye that was announced at the Sony press conference?
Right when I tuned in, there was a little blurb that they said about the 64 gig card, and then nobody but us announced it anywhere. I feel like I think that was a really big, and sure, it's only in Japan right now, but it's going to. I mean, hopefully they're going to release it to the rest of the U.S. Because I remember you mentioned, or somebody who has a Vita mentioned not having enough space,
right,
and having a large enough chip would be a lot better for the game. I know they announced preloaded memory cards that come preloaded with games on them. I think that's a cool idea. So you can just kind of pay this fee, get 6 or whatever how many games fit on it. I like the new Vita that they're coming out with, the smaller and the slimmer one. Because it's coming with all those limited edition bundles. I think anytime you put limited edition on something, it's going to sell really well. And the games they chose to make the limited edition ones, I think, are really good choices. And like having the Final Fantasy limited edition one, like if I have the money at the time, I may just drop it on that Vita, because the remake of 10 and 10-2 coming to Vita. I think it's such a good idea. Being able to handheld game at the same resolution as playing on a console, I think that's a brilliant idea.
Oh, just the fact with the live streaming of your PS4 to your Vita, that's going to be
that thing is amazing.
So, I mean, you're looking at PlayStation 4 graphics on your PS Vita anywhere in the house. Yeah. I mean, to have Minecraft on the go would be amazing in my opinion. I mean, that's just one of the few games that are coming. I mean, they're getting Borderlands too. So having that on the go and just hooking up to the internet and finding somebody else playing it is going to be...
Definitely.
It's going to be awesome. So that 64 gig memory card, that's what he was referring to as a memory card for your Vita, and you need a memory card. There is no getting around it. You're going to have to get it, especially if you're a PS Plus member, because they come out with, I think it's like 4 or 5 free games with a Vita every month.
Yeah.
So you're going to be using space like crazy. And I think the 64 gig memory card is huge. First of all, I don't agree with how Sony did you have to buy our name brand memory card for our Vita. But I mean, now we have to live with it, so there's no arguing with it anymore. The 64 gig memory card is about 1,000 yen, which is about $100 American. And right now the 32 gig is $80. So if I can spend $20 more and get 64 gigs of memory, that's going to be amazing. I have yet to get my PS Vita. I'm kind of waiting for Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of thing to see if I can snag one for like maybe $150. Maybe get like a bundle where I can get the memory card and a Vita for $200, $250. Because I was really sold on the Vita at E3. The stuff you can do with your PS4s is going to be awesome integration with each other.
I actually wasn't sold until the conference that we started watching. I wasn't very interested in it because all the games they were advertising were like, you can play this on your console, and if you buy it, you also get it on Vita. And I'm just like, I've already got it on console. Like, I'm buying it to kind of like, cause I'm pretty big into the competitive fighting game community.
Right.
Like, I went to EVO for the past 2 years in a row, which is the Super Bowl of fighting games, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff. And, like, right now, I've got my PS3 on with Marvel 3 running, and I'm just kind of in practice mode, you know, just kind of doing whatever. But I didn't really care about the games coming out for Vita because, one, I either wasn't a fan of the franchise already that the games are being released for, or I've already got it on one. Why would I want to buy it on the other or get it for free on the other and play it on the other when I've got it on one? And then they dropped the bombshell of the PlayStation Vita TV device. And once I saw that thing, being able to put my Vita on the TV or more yet, stream my PS4 to another TV in another room, I think this thing is going to be amazing. So I'm kind of wanting a Vita now because now that it's been out for a while, they're making games only on Vita, like specifically to be designed for the Vita. Right. Or they're remaking, or they're porting games over to it that kind of desperately need to be on it. Like you said, like the Borderlands 2, being able to like just kind of sit in the D&B, pop it open, and find somebody else playing, and kind of just be bored and pass time with somebody else out in the world. I think that'd be a really cool feature.
Well, the thing about this Vita is Sony is trying very hard to get it. They want people to have it in every household, and they really want people to get their hands on the Vita. So I'm looking forward to picking up one, testing. I've never had one. I've always wanted to get one, but the $300 price range was too much for a handheld, in my opinion. Now with the price drops of the $100, being able to pick one for $200 and then a memory card for, I'll pay $100 for the 64 gig just to have the extra memory. But Ken, I know you're interested in the PS Vita. Are you looking to buy one? And is this memory card a huge thing for you, or do you not really care about the memory?
Yeah, I mean, I was with you. I mean, I was disappointed when I started looking into them, finding out about the exclusive memory card thing, where they're obviously jacking up the price pretty ridiculous. There's no real reason for that other than just as a way to make money. So, I mean, that kind of turned me off a little bit, but I'm like you. I'm hoping if I can get a good deal on one, like a Black Friday, Christmas type sale. I think it seems like they're really pushing the integration with that in PS4, and I really think PS4 is going to be, for the next 6-7 years, really my primary gaming tool. So anything I can add to that, I think I will. So I think eventually I'll own a PS Vita, and I do a little bit of traveling for seeing family, and even maybe just take it with me and play on my lunch break at work or something like that. It seems like kind of appealing. So.
Very nice. Lee, I know you aren't a big fan, but if you could get a PS Vita, would you?
I don't see why not. I mean, looks like I'm a big PlayStation fan, so yeah, I mean, totally. So, I mean, if it wasn't too inexpensive and, because sometimes, phone or apps on your phone kind of get lame. So,
right.
if it's a really solid system and good priced and has some really good games, I don't see why not.
Right, if you can just sit on your couch or even, you're at school and it's like, hey, you finish your test and your next class is an hour away. You just go to the cafeteria, break out some Borderlands 2, and, instead of driving home and doing all this stupid stuff, you could just chill in the cafeteria and just play some Borderlands 2 with other people.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome idea.
So, I mean, other than at the conference, there wasn't that much shown. We did see some new footage of the new Deep Down game, which, man, if you weren't sold on it yet, these new videos are just insane. I know Ken watched them. I don't know if Java got around to watching the actual videos, but we saw this game at E3. Me and Ken, we saw it and we were like, that's not real. Like, there's no way they could make that happen. And then they showed us gameplay footage, and it was just, wow, it's going to be amazing. The The multiplayer aspect looks awesome for it. So when you saw it, Ken, like, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks to be like one of those titles that maybe be the first one to really push some of the capabilities of the PS4 and graphics wise. I mean, the scene where there's a scene basically they just show you a guy in armor. He goes around a corner in a cave and there's a dragon. There's basically an encounter there, a fight with a dragon. And if you watch that scene, if you can find like a good high-def version of it on YouTube, I mean, the fact that it's actual gameplay footage and not just cinematic is pretty incredible. So it just looks like the best cinematic or better than you've seen in any of the current gen, and it's actually the gameplay. So I mean, it's pretty breathtaking. And then they gave a little bit of a background on the story a little bit where, you know, it looks like you're a medieval game, a Skyrim type game, but apparently there's also a mixture of like an Assassin's Creed thing there where you're portaling from the future to go back in time to deal with things. So I'm interested to see what that's all about, and it sounds like maybe there's a little more of the story than just some kind of really pretty Skyrim clone.
Right, yeah, the game actually takes place, I think it's 2095 or something like that, and it takes place in New York City. So the video is very, it doesn't show you that at all. I mean, it looks like, obviously, like you're playing a medieval game. But that's going to be a big game for me. That's going to be on the top of my list when it drops. Other than that, I don't think, was there anything else, Matt, that you saw at the press conference that you were interested in?
I know they gave the Japanese release date for the PS4.
Right, yeah, not until February 22nd.
Which is, I mean, I feel it's a good date, because they want the Western market games to be available in Japan. So putting it out, the same day, worldwide release day one, you're not going to have those Western titles already ready to ship and ready to launch in Japan. So I feel waiting, to push it till next year. I think that's a decent decision because again, like people are going to want these huge titles coming out. Like is Watch Dogs next gen? I don't know if it was.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's current gen and next gen.
Okay. So the Watch Dogs, the Division, which I'm really excited for. I think that's a good plan for them, just kind of in their own market.
Yeah, because we're not really getting any Japanese games over here, like like the Final Fantasy right off the bat or anything like that. So I think you're right. I completely agree. I think either way they're beating Microsoft just for the sheer thought of they want you to use this Kinect, but on launch day, the Kinect won't work in certain countries. Like it won't even recognize certain languages. So I don't understand what Microsoft's thought process was when they even said that the Kinect would be a mandatory thing. Like,
I've played with the Kinect. Like, I've played the little SWAT at the stuff game. But I also played that, the shooter game that was for it, where you could, like, kind of customize your gun and stuff.
Yeah.
A friend had it over at his place, and he was like, this game is really cool. And, like, some games you just need a controller.
Oh, I think every game needs a controller.
I mean, there's. I think they like tried to push into the family market with the Kinect, and then that didn't work. But they're trying to make it like mainstream, or it did work, and now they're trying to make it mainstream. I don't know if it worked or not. It worked on the gimmicky games, but yeah, for the real games that you're like, this is an amazing feature. You can talk to your Xbox and customize your I'd rather not. Right. Like, given the option to do it or don't do it, I would choose don't do it every time.
Right.
I don't think there's a situation in which I would want to use this thing over not using it. So I don't think controllerless gameplay is a thing that needs to exist.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. If Microsoft would have just came out and said, "Hey, you can buy a day one Xbox One for $400 and not get a Kinect," I would have been like, "All right, I'll do it."
Yeah.
But, I mean, just the fact of paying an extra $100 for something I'm never going to use, I don't care how awesome it is. I don't want to play any of my games moving my hands and all that stuff. Like, that doesn't interest me at all. And I've had
Yeah.
nothing but bad experiences with my Kinect. I mean, you can't even watch Netflix with it. I mean, it's just so bad because it turns it off and whatnot. But that's a whole other topic, and I think they definitely got it. Sony definitely got it right. So I think that's about it for the Sony press conference. There wasn't really that much more info going on there. They did say there's going to be a lot more to be shown at the Tokyo conference.
Yeah, Tokyo Game Show. I'm looking forward to that.
So that should be pretty interesting. But we're going to do one more topic, and we're going to go and wrap it up, and we're going to let Lee do most of the talking on this. So Magic on the 22nd of September, I think, is releasing their new expansion. And Lee, if you want to go ahead and take over.
Yeah, it's the 21st and 22nd is actually the pre-release for the Theros. It's kind of a Greek expansion to the MTG Magic the Gathering type of game. So the actually nymphs are making a comeback. You'll have kind of this other type of kind of early Greek kind of art themes and stuff like that. You'll have god characters. They're adding devotion in. Devotion's always kind of been in, but this is going to be like a kind of a main ordeal of it. Like a lot of the god creatures, like you had to have devotion to get their special ability, special thing they can do. In the actual real release date where you can buy all the boxes, all the fat packs, all the regular boosters, that should be the 27th. It's going to be 249 cards, and actually has 101 common, 80 uncommon, 53 rares, and 15 mythical rares. So
very nice.
Looking very forward to that. So and apparently Blue's making a big comeback. So a lot of people buying Return Ravnica boxes and whatnot, from what I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Blue's supposed to be really heavy hitter in this one. So we'll see.
Well, that's very interesting. Any particular cards you're looking forward to? I know there's a couple Planeswalkers I saw when I was like, I'm probably going to try to get that one for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they have a whole bunch of spoilers, and I haven't really. I don't like to read them because I like to, get it like Christmas. You get a box, and you're like, ooh, what does this do?
Right.
Ooh, what does this do? But I mean, besides like the Black Mana Goddess, you have a lot of hero cards. I haven't really been dabbled into Planeswalker yet, but I mean, this expansion looks really good, and can't really wait for it. So I bet you anything they do is gonna be good. Yeah,
definitely. I'm one of those guys who probably just when a new expansion comes out, I just buy a booster box, and that's that'll last me a good bit. But these cards actually look really nice. I was checking them out a little bit earlier today, and it should be a pretty good expansion. I mean, 2014 expansion was pretty good. I think Ravnica was probably the best out of the whole 2013. Gatecrash was, I really didn't like Gatecrash that much, but Return of Ravnica was amazing. And hopefully this next one can finish out this year, because I think that's probably the last expansion until probably February or closer to the first quarter of 2014. So it'll be a good closer out for the year. And I'm going to be, I think, we should definitely get together and hit up, do a draft pick or something. That'd be pretty cool. But
it'd be a lot of fun.
But, yeah, I mean, if you're into Magic, like Lee said, it's the 21st and 22nd. You can go down to your local game store and,
get pre-release.
Yeah, pre-release. You get a special edition card and all that stuff. If you're a big fan of it. And if you don't like Magic, I mean, I know, Ken isn't big into it, but, I mean, I don't know, Matt, I mean, are you into Magic?
I played some in high school, but it's not a thing that I've kept with.
Right.
I don't know. If I'm going to play, I'd rather play the PC version just because it's more accessible to me right now. I don't have to spend so much money on the cards and whatnot.
Right. I'd have to disagree so much. I mean, I think Lee can go with me. When you get a booster pack and open that thing up, and you got a Planeswalker sitting on the back, and you're just like, oh shit,
And there's nothing better than making your money back on a box.
Oh, I know. I mean, you get a booster pack, and you just get a foil Termograph or something, and it's like, well, I just made $20. It's just
these are just words to me. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like at the same rate, I'm gonna get into Hearthstone Blizzard's Magic the Gathering type card game thing, the PC card game.
Right.
I don't know. I don't feel like I got into the WoW trading card game a while back when it released with a friend I was living with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We both played, but we didn't know anybody else who kind of played the same with us, so it was just me versus him all the time. And I've got the card, like literally, I'm looking at them right now. They're all just sitting in the boxes, and I've never looked at them again once we stopped. Once we left.
I think you're the only one I know personally that's ever played that game.
It was all right. I mean, it was just a Magic clone. That's all it was.
Yeah. Isn't every card game nowadays?
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. I think, yeah, cool. It's got expansions and people are into it. I'm just not one of those people. I mean, I don't have anything against it at all. I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm not saying you shouldn't get it. It's just, it's not my cup of tea.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not everybody's thing, but if you haven't tried it, I mean, I would definitely recommend it for anybody who hasn't tried it. Buy a booster deck.
No, I mean, I played it in high school. I had some decks.
Right.
I played a trample deck. It was a lot of fun.
Green trample deck.
Yeah.
But
I just thought the idea of you being able to block my damage and me still do the damage was a good idea. And
yeah,
then,
definitely.
we had a group of 6 people who always played. So, I mean, I kind of know the terms and I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what each individual card does, and I don't know how good one card is over another.
Yeah, definitely.
But, it's a cool thing. It's good that they're putting out expansions still. I like that the game still exists and it's still big. I think that's a fantastic thing. But yeah, so I mean, if you want information on it, you're looking at the wrong person.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I usually talk to Lee about this, because we're kind of on the same page with it. It's something we do outside of WoW and any video game we play. It's just something fun to do, and it's definitely a fun game to play. And if you want any kind of interest in it, I know until Tuesday, I think. You can get a free Magic the Gathering 2013 on Xbox for free right now. So if you can get it, try it out. If you even like the Xbox version a little bit, you'll love the card game. Like the card game, the physical card game is amazing. It's so much fun to play. Kenny, got anything to say about this topic? I know.
No, the only thing I'll add, I would probably try it if I had friends who lived around me that did it, although I may open myself up to ridicule from my wife, but because we've walked past a few comic book stores and seen guys in the back, and let's just say her comments weren't the kindest about them.
Right.
But actually, what Matt said though about Hearthstone, I'm not gonna lie, I've Googled that a couple times, so I'm keeping an eye on it. So maybe that'll be my entrance into the card gaming world. But
need to come Magic, man. It's way better. So
if I had, maybe sometime I'm down the south.
I'm already spending money on Warhammer 40K. I can't afford to get into something else.
For sure. Hearthstone is something that's going to be coming up in the future. I'm actually really interested in that game. So Blizzard has put so much behind it, and from everybody who's played it, they love it. So I'm definitely not going to dog that at all at this point. But when that game comes out, you'll be hearing about it a lot more. I think that's going to wrap up today's show. Or this week's show. It's not today. We're not doing this every day, people. It's crazy. So, we're just going to go ahead and end it, and we'll see you next week for sure. And until then, if you're actually listening to us and you want to throw in the comments like what we should talk about or what you would like to hear or our opinions, just type them in the comments, let us know, and we will definitely see you guys next week.
Maybe Thanks something you want to hear Lee hate on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys, and see you later.